Horicon, Wisconsin. January 1988. Allan Tallmann woke his wife Debbie in the early hours of the morning to tell her the garage was on fire. When she looked, there were no flames. No smoke. No damage. Allan had seen it clearly, a roaring fire. The garage was cold and empty. It wasn't the first incident. It wouldn't be the last. The Tallmanns moved into their home on Larrabee Street in Horicon in 1986. Ordinary working-class family, Allan, Debbie, and their children. In 1987, they purchased a second-hand bunk bed from a local classified ad. According to Debbie Tallmann, the disturbances began within weeks of the bed being assembled in the children's room. The children fell ill repeatedly, persistent flu-like symptoms that didn't resolve normally. Debbie reported hearing a radio turn on by itself in a room with no radio. She described a woman's voice coming from the children's bedroom. Allan heard it too. A neighbor reportedly witnessed one of the children speaking in an altered voice unlike their own. In December 1987, Debbie Tallmann reported seeing a witch-like apparition at the foot of one of the children's beds. She described it as a dark female figure with a contorted face. Allan, separately, reported seeing a glowing green figure in the garage on multiple occasions. The children reported a hag figure watching them while they slept. Allan Tallmann gave a recorded interview to WKOW-TV in Madison in early 1988. He stated plainly that he did not believe in the paranormal before these events. He described the garage fire vision in detail, noted that the family dog refused to enter the children's room, and said the family had begun sleeping elsewhere in the house to avoid the bedroom entirely. The local Catholic diocese was contacted. A priest visited the home and reportedly blessed the property. According to the Tallmanns, the disturbances did not stop after the blessing. Allan later told investigators that following one particularly intense incident, he loaded the bunk bed into his truck and removed it from the property entirely. The activity, he said, stopped. The story was picked up by NBC News and featured on a segment that aired nationally in 1988. Horicon is a small city of roughly 5,000 people. The Tallmanns were not seeking attention. Allan appeared visibly uncomfortable during media appearances. Debbie declined several interview requests. The family moved out of the Larrabee Street house shortly after the media coverage peaked. No formal paranormal investigation team documented the site in real time. The primary record comes from the WKOW television interview, clergy accounts, and neighbor statements collected by local journalists. A researcher named Michael Friesch documented the case in detail afterward. No physical evidence, recordings, photographs, or measurements from inside the home was ever publicly produced. Skeptics point out that the bunk bed origin was never verified, and the illnesses could reflect a carbon monoxide leak or mold, both documented causes of hallucinations and flu symptoms in enclosed spaces. The house was never tested for either. What the mundane explanation doesn't cleanly address is the independent and consistent testimony from multiple family members across several months, and the cessation of events following the bed's removal. The Tallmann case sits in a category that's harder to dismiss than most, not because of dramatic evidence, but because of its consistency. 2 adults, multiple children, a neighbor, and a priest all reported something unusual in the same house over the same period. The bunk bed is gone. The family moved on. The house is still there on Larrabee Street. So what do you think? Is there a rational explanation, or is something else going on? Drop a comment below, and if you've had an encounter of your own, we want to hear about it. Subscribe to WT Historical for more documented cases from the edge of history.